Keaton Mitchell needs to make the 53-man roster on Tuesday. Here's why. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure the subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I put a brand new video. Now, in this video today, going to be talking about Keaton Mitchell, the pros and cons, and why I think he needs to be on that 53-man roster when the deadline comes on Tuesday. Now, Josh and I will be putting out a video on our predictions for the 53-man roster, but I want to talk about why I believe that Keaton Mitchell should actually make the team. Now, whether or not that means he will make the team, completely besides the point. I'm talking about why he needs to make the team, okay? If he doesn't make the team, EDC didn't watch this video. But in the comment section down below, let me know your players that you want the Ravens to keep on that 53-man roster, and if you think Keaton Mitchell is deserving of that spot. So first off, Keaton Mitchell, he's obviously playing a position that the Ravens have starters for. He's clearly going to be a backup, but it's a position where the Ravens have had some turnover, they've had some turmoil at, and they've had to consistently bring in new guys, right? We've brought in Le'Veon Bell, we've brought in Devonta Freeman, we've brought in all these guys, Latavius Murray as well. Melvin Gordon is the vet running back this year to be these backup running backs for J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. And then it was like, okay, this is the Greg Roman offense. Very ground and pound, very run heavy, not very pass happy to the running backs. And so a guy like Justice Hill was unable to really step up and be that player that he was drafted to be as kind of a pass catching, special teams type speed burst running back. Now he's, a veteran in the NFL, and Justice Hill still not found his footing running the football. This preseason, however, Justice Hill did look pretty good. He definitely showed that he was better than Melvin Gordon, at least, and he deserves that third spot on the roster. But it was never a question whether or not Justice Hill would make the team because he's so good on special teams. So when you're looking at it and you say, okay, the Ravens have 3 running backs they know 100% are making the team. JK, Gus, and Justice Hill. You have to question whether or not the Ravens keep 4 running backs, because Justice Hill's more than just a running back. He's not just a guy taking up space only to be the third string. Instead, he's a starting special teamer that is contributing consistently to the team's success. So you go, okay, Justice Hill's kind of a half a running back because he also plays something else. Keaton Mitchell can provide on special teams. He showed his abilities on the kick return game, and he's not Devin Hester, he's not Jacoby Jones, but when the Ravens are looking at potentially special teams, kick returners and such, Keaton Mitchell could absolutely be a name that the Ravens turn to. Obviously, the recent return specialist has been Devin Duvernay, and he's been pretty solid, but he got injured last year, and when he came back from injury, he was definitely not as good in the kick return game. Obviously he was a former Pro Bowler and I believe former All-Pro as well, as a kick specialist, return specialist, but do the Ravens want to continue using him as a kick returner? Because a lot of players are better at kick return when they're young. They take less hits, and they're able to kind of show their flashes and skill sets, because kick return really at the beginning of their career is like your first opportunity to get the football. I think Devin Duvernay has shown and proven himself, hey, this guy can be a very competent wide receiver. He could start as just on almost any team as a wide receiver 3. Problem is, the Ravens now have a really good wide receiver 3. Whoever you guys want to debate it is, whether it's Zay, Bateman, or Odell, those guys are all better than Devin Duvernay, but Duvernay's competent. He can do whatever you need him to do. So do the Ravens want to use him as just a primary wide receiver? We will find that out. So if they do that, okay, who's now our kick returner? No longer am I like, oh, just use Justice Hill, because Justice Hill's decent at it. But I don't think he's that good. Like, he's just fast. He's able to break a couple of tackles. He's got decent vision. But I think Keaton Mitchell showed explosiveness, and we can use that youth, agility, and explosiveness and speed to really showcase his skill set originally and find a place for him on this roster. Because that speed is electrifying, and you can't take that away. In the preseason, he obviously didn't have a lot of reps and a lot of yardage because he had that touchdown run taken away, but that touchdown run that we saw in that first game against the Eagles, I mean, that speed was very, very clear. Just completely ran away from every single player. We saw it again in the second game against Washington when he ended up getting injured. I mean, he's just running, and it looked like everyone else was running in slow motion next to him because he was so much faster than them. And that change of pace is valuable because Gus is slow. JK, okay speed. Justice Hill, I think, is fast. He's definitely fast. Keaton Mitchell is fast. He's extra fast. All right. And I think having 4 players with that different type of speed is what would allow Todd Monken to completely utilize every single different skill set, because we didn't utilize the running backs in the passing game. J.K. Dobbins in college caught a few passes. Gus Edwards has caught some passes in the NFL, but neither of them are seen as pass catchers. Justice Hill definitely seen as the best pass catcher out of the bunch. But having a rotating guy of Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell, like imagine what you could do with Lamar Jackson with that speed in the backfield of Keaton Mitchell, and you could go into a split backfield and have Gus Edwards on the right and Keaton Mitchell on the left, and go, all right, triple option, read option, quick screen, whatever you want to do. You can run Keaton Mitchell to the right side, have Gus Edwards block. You can have Gus Edwards go out on a pass route, and Keaton Mitchell, to run a route as well, and the linebackers aren't going to be able to keep up with him because of his speed. The speed is the ultimate X factor in the NFL, and he looks really good running the football. It's not like he's just speed. He has good vision. He has the ability to break tackles, to change direction and things like that. That's what we saw in college from him. That's what we saw in the preseason games. He looks really comfortable running the football, which is a very different set that I think we saw Justice Hill running the football in the NFL when he first came in. Remember, he was very, east to west. He was kind of afraid, it felt like, to get down the field and trying to run into defenders. Keaton Mitchell is not afraid of the moment. And I think keeping 4 running backs could be very beneficial because we have had injury problems with our running backs. J.K. Dobbins hasn't been able to stay healthy very much. Gus Edwards has had to miss some time as well. Justice Hill has been banged up in the past, but just having a 4th running back could be very valuable for this team with how versatile our tight ends are, how versatile our offensive linemen are. We may not have to keep an extra one at those positions because we have guys that can play multiple spots. Maybe we keep an extra running back instead of an extra wide receiver, because I think it's more likely that Keaton Mitchell gets picked up by another team. Let's say if he gets cut on Tuesday, picked up by another team, than a guy like Prochet or Treadwell or Dante Demas is. Or even a Travis Vokalek. Obviously, there's defensive players that are coming into that discussion of, who's getting that final roster spot. But I think Keaton Mitchell can contribute on special teams. He can contribute in certain packages on Sunday on the offense. So I'm all in on bringing Keaton Mitchell to the 53-man roster. We'll see if it happens. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on Keaton Mitchell, who you think should make the team. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow.